The grand halls of Westminster Abbey shimmered under the glow of chandeliers and the soft reflection of sunlight through stained glass windows. It was the coronation day of King Charles III, a historic moment etched in anticipation and tradition. Amidst the ornate pomp and circumstance, an unexpected moment of tenderness unfolded, one that would capture hearts and headlines alike. From the early morning, the streets of London had buzzed with the excitement of a nation celebrating its monarchy. The Abbey, adorned with golden tapestries and blooming arrangements of English roses, was a sight to behold. The royal family, resplendent in their ceremonial regalia, stood as symbols of continuity and unity. For Princess Charlotte, the young daughter of the Prince and Princess of Wales, the day was an overwhelming whirlwind. Draped in an elegant pale blue dress designed by a renowned British couturier, Charlotte carried the dignified air of her lineage. Yet, beneath her composed exterior, she was a 9-year-old, awestruck and slightly intimidated by the grandeur princess and, known for her sharp wit, no-nonsense demeanor, and steadfast dedication to duty, had always been a cornerstone of the royal family. Though she often remained in the background, her influence was deeply felt within the family. On this momentous day, her attention turned unexpectedly to her young great-niece. As the ceremony commenced, Charlotte's wide eyes wandered across the cavernous abbey, absorbing the echoes of choir harmonies and the rhythmic recitation of ancient rites. She fidgeted slightly, her tiny gloved hands twisting the fabric of her dress. Princess and, seated a few rows behind, noticed the child's unease. Quietly, and made her way forward during a lull in the ceremony. As she approached Charlotte, she leaned down and whispered something inaudible to the rest of the congregation. Charlotte's expression brightened, and a subtle smile replaced her earlier apprehension. Whatever Anne had said seemed to ground the young princess. As the ceremony transitioned to the anointing, Princess Anne stepped forward once more. In her hands was a small, intricately carved box. She knelt beside Charlotte and opened it, revealing a delicate brooch shaped like a rose, a family heirloom belonging to Queen Elizabeth II. "This belonged to your great-grandmother," Anne said softly, pinning the brooch onto Charlotte's dress. "She wore it at her own coronation. Today it's yours." The gesture left the congregation momentarily stunned. Such a public display of familial intimacy was rare within the royal family, where personal emotions were often kept private. The symbolism of passing down a treasured item to the youngest generation resonated deeply with everyone present. With the brooch securely fastened, Charlotte seemed transformed. She straightened her posture and looked around with newfound confidence. When her father, Prince William, caught sight of the brooch, a proud smile crossed his face. He mouthed a silent "thank you" to Anne, who responded with a subtle nod. As the coronation ceremony continued, Charlotte's poise was evident to all. When she later curtsied to her grandfather, the brooch gleamed under the abbey's lights, a poignant reminder of her heritage and the legacy she carried forward. News of Princess Anne's gesture spread quickly after the ceremony. Social media erupted with admiration, with hashtags like #AnneandCharlotte and #RoyalRose trending worldwide. Historians noted the significance of the brooch, connecting it to Queen Elizabeth II's enduring legacy. For the royal family, it was a moment of unity that transcended the pomp and ceremony. Anne's act reminded everyone that the monarchy was not just an institution but a family bound by love, tradition, and shared responsibility. Days after the coronation, the official portraits were released. In one particularly striking image, Princess Charlotte stood beside her siblings, Prince George and Prince Louis, with the brooch prominently displayed. The photograph, with its intergenerational symbolism, became an iconic representation of the monarchy's continuity. For Princess Anne, the gesture was not about public acclaim, but about reinforcing a bond. "Charlotte reminded me of myself at that age," she later said in a rare interview. "It's a big world for little shoulders to carry. A little bit of encouragement goes a long way." The coronation of King Charles III was a historic event, but it was Princess Anne's unexpected act of kindness that truly stole the show. In a world often consumed by formality and protocol, Her gesture to Princess Charlotte served as a touching reminder of the human connections at the heart of the monarchy. This story captures the essence of a creative royal narrative. Let me know if you'd like me to expand on specific elements, such as Anne's perspective, Charlotte's emotions, or the historical context of the brooch. The coronation ceremony of King Charles III was one of the most anticipated royal events of the decade, blending centuries-old traditions with the modern sensibilities of a new era. Amidst the grandeur of Westminster Abbey, filled with royals, dignitaries, and a sea of onlookers, a small yet poignant moment stole the hearts of many. Princess Anne's surprise gesture to her young grandniece, Princess Charlotte. This act of kindness and connection not only underscored the close-knit nature of the royal family, but also highlighted the unique relationship between the elder Princess Royal and the spirited young princess. What unfolded that day became a cherished moment for those who witnessed it and provided an unexpected glimpse into the softer, familial side of royal life. The day began as all grand royal events do, bustling with excitement and meticulous preparation. Westminster Abbey, adorned with floral arrangements in hues of gold and white, stood as a beacon of tradition. Guests from around the world took their places, awaiting the historic crowning of King Charles III. Princess Charlotte, dressed in a regal ivory dress with a delicate floral tiara, accompanied her parents, Prince William and Princess Catherine, and her siblings, Prince George and Prince Louis. As the middle child of the Prince and Princess of Wales, Charlotte had already shown a flair for poise beyond her years, waving to the crowds with a confident grace that belied her young age. Princess Anne, as the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II and one of the most steadfast members of the royal family, took her place in the ceremony with the calm demeanor of a seasoned royal. Dressed in her military attire as the Colonel of the Blues and Royals, she cut an imposing yet approachable figure. Known for her no-nonsense approach to duty and also possessed a deep familial warmth often revealed in quiet, meaningful moments, as the ceremony progressed with its timeless rituals, Princess Charlotte's youthful energy began to show. Despite her maturity, sitting still through the long and formal proceedings proved a challenge. Her younger brother, Prince Louis, often the source of comic relief during royal appearances, shifted in his seat, whispering to Charlotte and tugging at her sleeve. Princess Anne, seated nearby, noticed Charlotte's restlessness. Rather than observing from a distance, Anne decided to act. As a grandmother herself, with years of experience raising her own children, Peter and Zara, she recognized the moment as an opportunity to connect with the young princess. Leaning over slightly, Anne discreetly extended her hand to Charlotte, offering her a small keepsake. It was a delicate handkerchief embroidered with Anne's initials and a small rose motif, a token that she had kept tucked in her sleeve. The gesture was simple yet profound, serving as both a distraction and a comforting presence for Charlotte. The young princess looked up at Anne, her eyes lighting up in surprise and delight. She accepted the handkerchief with a soft "thank you," her restlessness dissipating as she carefully folded and unfolded the delicate fabric. This moment of connection resonated deeply within the family and beyond. For those watching, it was a rare glimpse of the familial bonds that underpin the royal institution. Anne's gesture was a reflection of her understanding of the pressures that come with being a young royal in the public eye, especially during momentous occasions like a coronation. And, often referred to as the hardest-working royal, has long been admired for her commitment to duty and family. Her relationship with her late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, was built on mutual respect and shared values. This upbringing undoubtedly influenced her approach to nurturing connections within the family. For Charlotte, the gesture was not only a distraction from the ceremonial proceedings, but also an affirmation of her place within the royal family. As a young girl navigating the complexities of royal life, moments of kindness and understanding from older family members are invaluable. Following the ceremony, Princess Charlotte was seen clutching the handkerchief as the family exited Westminster Abbey. Photographers captured the tender moment, and royal watchers quickly took to social media to share their interpretations of the scene. Many praised Anne for her thoughtful gesture, calling it a testament to her character and the close ties within the royal family. Reports from palace insiders later revealed that Anne and Charlotte shared a brief conversation during the post-coronation reception. Anne, known for her wit and humor, reportedly complimented Charlotte on her composure during the ceremony and jokingly suggested that she keep the handkerchief for future royal emergencies. Princess Catherine, always attuned to her children's experiences, expressed her gratitude to Anne for her attentiveness. "It was such a lovely thing to do," Catherine was overheard saying during the reception. Charlotte treasures thoughtful gestures like that. While the coronation itself will be remembered as a historic milestone, Princess Anne's small act of kindness became one of the day's most talked about moments. It highlighted the humanity behind the pomp and ceremony, reminding the world that even within the grandeur of royalty, personal connections and acts of care are what truly endure. In the weeks that followed, the story of Anne's gesture continued to circulate, becoming a symbol of the royal family's enduring strength and unity. Charlotte, ever the thoughtful young princess, was seen using the handkerchief during other public appearances, a subtle nod to the bond she shared with her great-aunt. For Anne, the gesture was just another example of her quiet, steadfast approach to family and duty. But for Princess Charlotte and those who witnessed it, it was a moment that spoke volumes about the importance of compassion, connection, and the legacy of care that binds generations of royals. As the coronation ceremony of King Charles III recedes into history, the memory of Princess Anne's surprise gesture to Princess Charlotte will remain a cherished anecdote. It is a reminder that, amidst the formality of royal life, there is always room for warmth and humanity. Through a simple handkerchief and a moment of understanding, Princess Anne bridged the gap between tradition and tenderness, leaving an indelible mark on a day steeped in history. For Princess Charlotte, it was a lesson in the power of kindness, a lesson she is sure to carry with her as she grows into her own role within the royal family.